Hello and welcome to the Iceman channel. It's a new year, it's a new day, and let's see what happens during 2024. I wanted to try out the new Reconnect function on my Blueshark module, and for that I figured out some stuff and I want to show you how it looked like. Tag along. I have a Raspberry Pi here, Raspberry Pi 4, and I have git clone the repo. And when you want to compile this repo for Blueshark or Bluetooth support, you need to copy the makefile platform.samples into makefile.platform instead, which I already done, so I have it here. And you also want to do is make sure that this line here is uncommented. So this is what I added up, but you know, don't mind too much. Make sure. And then when you do it, you would do a make clean, and then you would run a make j. And I'm not going to do that because it takes too long to do it on a Raspberry Pi for me for this video. So I will only just now show you a little bit of the setup. Here is my Blueshark, my Raspberry Pi. Oh, this is my Proxmark with a Blueshark, and it's on the battery, and you see the flashing light here means that the Bluetooth is up and looking and searching. And if I do list, I've already paired this one before, and I know that the Blueshark has 2019 in its MAC address. I will select the number 2, and you will now see here that the Proxmark has a fixed light on the Blueshark. That means that it's connected and it's up and running, which you can see here. Ignore that it says ARM firmware doesn't match because I just compiled it and I haven't flashed it. So if I run something simple, you see it will react, and you see if it flashed out with a little red light on it. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do it here again. I'm going to turn off the Blueshark part, and we're going to go back in here, and we're going to wait. What you see here, it says FPC. That means that you're using the UART communications for Bluetooth. And it takes about 30 seconds before the client realizes that there's no serial connection anymore, and it communicates it. Now, this only works if you compiled this source on with readline. So for ones who have a line noise library, it will not work. Now, with that said, when I turn on the Bluetooth again, it takes about 5 to 10 seconds before the lights go fixed, and the Proxmark client have now detected. I can run, as you see here, and it works. I didn't do anything else. But if you look very closely down in the corner here, when I press something for the next line, you will see that it instantly comes up FPC. So there's something writing over there, and we are not connected to USB. So that's the bug. Let me show you what that is all about. And like all good cooking shows, I've already done some things in preparation for it. Now, what you need to do to find this part here is in the client folder, source, and the proxmark.c file. It runs in the function check communications or checkcom, and that function hooked up with something from readline's event hooks. So that's why it only works on readline. And if we don't have a readline, it says, you know, tell you to manually run the hwconnect command. And here is what the problem is, because it assumes that it was USB prompt to show. So that's overwriting all the time. So that's one bug. But luckily, we don't have to do much about it. So, alright, I can go back down here again, because if I go into the main loop of this script, here is the main loop of the client, and I can look at the present code, which detects which prompt to choose. So this is the code that does it. So if I take that code and paste up here, it would work, but it would still have some issues with it because it will do this update every time I do it. I only want to update this prompt once. So with that said, I already prepare a cookie. And so I will just move my Proxmark.c.ice into Proxmark.c, and I will go back out of there, and oh yeah, I will be in the client by the way. I will go back in here, and we now see that there's a function which I call prompt set, which does all this part of detecting the global variable here. I also had a local context variable that is set to false, and then I set it to true once we detect it's offline, and then only then we set it, you know, we enter this one. So we only set it once, we set the prompt correctly, and then we set this local context variable to false again, so it doesn't enter again. Now with that in place, we can now do make J on the client. Perfect. Let's try this one out then, shall we? It says FBC. We can run some commands over Bluetooth. We disconnect the Bluetooth. And this takes a little bit of time again. There we go. Let's connect up the Bluetooth. And let's see if we fixed it. And it says FBC. And it doesn't see any flickering here anymore. And that's how you do it. That's how you fix some bugs. That's not perfect yet, but it's really good. And it works much better than I thought it was. With that said, have a good one.